Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is Wraith here, back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about how you could improve in only 1 hour a day, and if it's even possible. Now, this is going to be a pretty intriguing topic, and a lot of you people are probably wondering about this because I know a lot of you guys have school, work, etc, etc, don't have time to play Fortnite 6-7 hours a day like all these players do. But basically in today's video, like I said, we're going to be talking about that, so if you're looking forward to it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and let's get right into it. So now it's quite a different topic going into, can you become a pro player off 1 hour a day, or can you become a better player off 1 hour a day? Now, in my opinion, no, you won't be a pro player with 1 hour a day. It's just almost impossible. It's a little bit different if you're playing 1 hour a day during like the weekdays, and then you can play 8, 9, 10 hours a day on weekends. But for majority of people, that might not be it. And a lot of you guys are probably wondering, well, what happens if I can play 2 hours a day? Well, then basically do everything I say in this video, but just do it a little bit longer. So basically, the biggest thing that you're going to need to start focusing on if you can only play a limited amount of time during the weekdays or weekends or whatever the case is you need to prioritize your time and make sure your practice is as efficient and smart as possible. Because let's say, for example, you only can play an hour to 2 hours a day. You hop on, play with your buddies in creative for like 20-30 minutes, and then play a couple arena games, then get off, right? Sure, if you're just looking to have some fun, play the game, whatever the case, it's 100% completely fine. That's up to you. But if you're really looking to kind of get to the next level, get a little bit better, because you can only play during the weekdays for now, and then you have a little bit longer on the weekends or whatever the case is, so you want to kind of get a little bit better as much as you can and play as much as you can during the weekdays, well, then you're going to need to make sure that you're using that time efficiently. So like I said, if you're just going into the game and doing whatever and not really focusing and just playing the game, again, if you're not looking to improve, that's 100% a-okay, but if you're looking to improve, that's not really the best way. So now I'm going to go into kind of how to warm up properly and do all that kind of stuff. So basically what you need to do when you're hopping on is, like I said, if you only have an hour, go with this. If you only have 2 hours, then literally just double this. So in my opinion, you still need to warm up, like still warm up properly. So many people still don't think warming up is important. And yeah, even off an hour a day, if you only have an hour, even 45 minutes, literally, trust me, spend 5-10 minutes warming up. It's so important that you do this, because one, it's going to help you improve faster due to the fact that you're going to be playing better. Because if you're playing terribly, you're not going to get that much better, right? You can still improve and learn from your mistakes, etc. But by warming up, you're going to play a little bit better than you would be if you didn't warm up. And not only that, is if you're warming up your aim or something like that, and you're doing aim trainers for 5-10 minutes, every little bit helps. Sure, you're not going to become the best aimer in the world by playing 5 minutes a day, but by playing 5 minutes a day and doing that every single week, and then doing that for a month, then doing that for 2 months, your aim's going to get better. It's not going to be incredibly different, but it's going to get a little bit better. Same with editing, same with free building. If you're just doing 5-10 minutes a day, it's going to improve long term. It might not do anything crazy, but trust me, just warm up. So in my opinion, I would spend 5 minutes doing kind of each mechanic. So 5 minutes doing your aim training. If you're on controller, don't worry about it, spend a little bit more time doing editing. But if you're on keyboard, play 5 minutes of Kovacs, play 5 minutes of aim training, do something in creative, warm up your aim. The other 5 minutes, in my opinion, I would say do free building or something like that, do edit courses. In my opinion, I would do probably free building and tunneling and stuff like that, just kind of get warmed up your builds, practice new high ground retakes. Again, you only have 5-10 minutes, so make sure it's efficient as possible. You're not just chilling there doing nothing or doing the basic things. Like, make sure you're actually pushing yourself, trying to get better, trying to improve, right? If you're on controller, like I said, do like 10-15 minutes of free building. Just don't worry about the aim part. If you have 2 hours a day, like I said, just do that times 2, like do 20 minutes of warm up, etc. So now the next thing you're going to need to focus on is working on what you're not good at. Now you might be like, well, what does that mean, right? So for example, I'm assuming that a lot of you guys, if you're only being able to play an hour or 2 hours a day, hopefully you have more time on the weekends or this odd day, like if you don't have work that day or whatever the case is, to play a little bit more time or focus. If some of you obviously probably have restrictions, like your parents only allow you to play an hour a day, but whatever the case is, but hopefully you can play a little bit more on other days. So on the days that you can only play an hour, 45 minutes, blah, 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 make sure you focus on what you're not good at. So what I mean about that is, what do you struggle with? And I can't tell you what you struggle with. I don't know each one of your guys' play styles, how you play, what you do wrong, what you do right, etc. Right? So you need to do this on your own. And I've made tons tons of videos about it, but basically what you need to do is you need to look over your gameplay, figure out what you struggle with. Is it your mechanics? Is it your game sense? Do you struggle with fighting? Is your confidence not good, right? You need to really focus on that, so when you're using that 45 minutes that you have left, or an hour 45, whatever the case is, you make sure you're really focusing on what you're not good at, because if you already are working on things you're good at, you're not going to get much better. You might be better. Like, for example, if you have the best aim in the world, don't focus on your aim as much, focus on things that you're not good at. If you have Unreal editing and you're cracked mechanically, maybe work on your game sense, maybe work on your confidence a little bit, right? So for example, and again, I can't really help you with every situation, but if your mechanics aren't good, let's say for example, like your aim and your editing is terrible, then maybe spend that 45 minutes doing an aim trader. Literally play Kovacs for 45 minutes. It's probably more beneficial than you playing Fortnite for 45 minutes. If your editing is not good, free build for 45 minutes, free build for 20 minutes, and then do aim training for 20 minutes. Like, what do you struggle with? If you struggle with W keying, play zone wars, play the box fights, play things like that where you focus on really fighting your opponents, getting better by fighting your opponents. 1v1s, like, what do you struggle with? Figure that out and then start working on it. Do you struggle with like specific, I don't know, tracking long range? Then maybe practice your tracking long range for 20 minutes. You don't have to do the same thing every single day. Like, for example, if you can only play 1 hour a day for 5 days, like Monday to Friday, maybe if you struggle with your mechanics are a little bit not the greatest, your fighting's all right, maybe on Monday you work on your aim, Tuesday you work on your editing, Wednesday you have a little bit more fun, you play some arena, blah blah blah, which I'll talk about later. You do some box fights, etc., and then Wednesday or Thursday you work on your aim, and then Friday you work on your mechanics again, right? So basically just kind of split it up with what you need to work on. In my opinion, if you're just going in and doing things you're already good at, you're not using your time as efficiently as possible. So now the next thing is, like I said, if you only have an hour, make sure you're not really spending that time. And again, this is just prioritizing. Make sure you're not spending that time playing arena or customs. And you might be like, well, don't you say W keying in arena and playing customs, etc., etc., is a really good way to improve? And yeah, 100%. It's a really good way to overall work on like your entire game, like not just one specific thing. But if you only have an hour and a half to play, playing 3 games isn't going to really get you that much better, right? So in my opinion, if you can play a little bit longer on weekends, like I said, or specific days, leave that for those specific days. Like, leave the gameplay where you actually, like, games can take what, 20 to 30 minutes sometimes with queue times and everything like that. So spend that 20, 30, 45 minute gameplay and do that on days where you actually have more time. Really focus on those specific things on the days where you only have an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, and then when you have a little bit more time, you have an off day, whatever, then you can start working and use all those things you learned on those hour days and then put it into your entire gameplay when you're playing W keying arena, or you're playing customs, or you're playing tournaments, whatever the case is, right? So leave those until you can actually have a little bit more time, because playing 2 arena games, if you only have an hour, isn't really worth it, right? In my opinion, you're just not getting the best benefit of your time. So work on those small specific things, and then once you're done that, use that time when you have a little bit more to then play arena, customs, etc. Then the last tip, which is almost as important as any other one in this list, is, and it's depending on who you are. So if you only have an hour of time to play Fortnite, or 2 hours of time to play Fortnite, if you have more time, like for example, if your parents only say, okay, you're only allowed an hour and a half on Fortnite, or you have a job or whatever, so you only have an hour and a half, that doesn't mean you don't have other times in the day to improve. You'd be like, well, how do I improve if I'm not playing the game, right? If I'm not playing Kovacs, or I'm not on my computer or PS4 or whatever, right? And the best way to improve, and I still say this to the day, one of the best ways to improve is by watching other players. So this might not work for all of you guys, but if you're allowed to go on your phone, or allowed to go on your PC, or whatever the case, you're just not allowed to play Fortnite, or you only have so much time, make sure you spend that time that you're available and free. If you really want to get better, spend that time VOD reviewing your own gameplay, or VOD reviewing pro players. So what you can do is, for example, clip your own gameplay, post it to your YouTube, or even I think Xbox Lives you can actually watch your own gameplay. But watch your own gameplay when, like, if you're going to bed or something like that, and it's 9, 10, 11 p.m. and you have like 20 minutes to just do whatever you want. And yeah, sure, you're either not allowed on your PC or you just don't want to play. Watch Benji Fishy's gameplay. Literally watch him, see what he does, and then try and put it into your own gameplay when you have that 1 hour, or when you have that time. So by spending time, even though you're not playing Fortnite, you can still improve. Like for example, like I said, if you're just going to the washroom even, or you're just chilling and doing nothing, and you either can't play Fortnite or you don't want to play Fortnite, spend that time VOD reviewing, spend that time getting better game sense, because even though you can't play Fortnite, you can still improve. Now, obviously, if you don't want to play Fortnite 3-4 hours a day, then maybe this isn't the best tip for you. But if you only have a specific amount of time and you really want to get as good as possible, spend that extra time you have VOD reviewing, watching YouTube, watching tips and tricks like this, watching Twitch streams. Things like that are going to help you improve so much, and I talk about this every video. VOD review, VOD review, VOD review. Make sure if you have the time, you're doing it. So hopefully this video helped you guys out if you only have a little bit of time, because I understand that only so many of us can play 5-6 hours a day. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you slap the like button on it, comment what you want to see for a future video, hit that subscribe button, use creator code WraithFN in the item shop, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.